What's going on, guys and girls? This is going to be my last E3 kind of breakdown reaction video. This one is going to be the third-party ones. The other two I did the Sony and Microsoft one separately, but this one I'm going to have all the third parties placed into this one video. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. First off, they started out with Bethesda. They started the day before everyone else on the Sunday, and man, did they come out swinging with a ton of big announcements. First of all, we already knew Fallout 4 was going to be at E3, and this is probably the biggest announcement from it. So what they did is they showed off a whole lot of stuff. They showed off a whole lot of gameplay. They showed off a whole lot of the customizations and all that sort of stuff you can do in this game. There is so much to do in this game. This game is going to be super massive, and based on the reaction that they've showed off, this game is going to sell very well. I've never played a Fallout game before, and they've always kind of been, I never really knew much about them until I watched a whole lot of stuff before this E3, and then I watched this Fallout reveal, and it looks like a super interesting game. So this one is going to start off before the war, so it's going to start off in the futuristic 1950s sort of era, and you are actually going to have to get to the vault and get in the vault, and then some reason you are going to be the only survivor from the vault when you emerge into the wasteland sort of area, the open world wasteland. And it looks super interesting. I don't know if I'll pick it up, or I might try it out, I don't know. They also showed off a whole lot of gameplay and stuff for Doom, and that is a game that has a lot of history within the industry. It kind of defined the first-person shooter genre, and so they showed tons of stuff about that. And they also showed showed off Dishonored. It's a game I don't know a lot about, so if you guys were interested in it, check it out. I don't think they showed much. And Fallout 4 was just what everyone wanted. Everyone just seemed to love the idea of it so much. So hopefully people are excited for that. And this trailer just had this awesome song playing through the whole thing, and you get this massive nuclear explosion at the end. And of course you get a dog in Fallout 4. I didn't mention that before, but you saw it in the trailer. And then this is just when everyone loses it because they just love the idea. What they showed was really good. So that's all I'm really going to talk about from Bethesda. It's a game studio that I've never really played any of their games. I just recently figured out that I haven't played any of their games. So I haven't played like Skyrim or anything like that. So I'm just going to move on to the next game developer conference. That was EA. They came out and they just had a massive showing as well. Every single conference was so good, and I loved every single one of them. So this is the very first thing they showed off at the EA's E3 conference. So many E's in that sentence, and everyone was just kind of watching this going, oh well, this looks really interesting, I wonder what this is. And it turns out to be Mass Effect Andromeda. So this is going to be Mass Effect 4. They're not going to call it 4, they're going to might be completely different. They said they're going to be exploring a new galaxy, and then this is just when everyone realizes what it is and they just go completely nuts. They see the N7. Another game that I haven't played before, so you guys are finding out about all the games that I've never actually tried, and then I always think about maybe I should go back and try and play them, and then the games like this are just like massive, and I'm like, I don't know if I can spend that much time on a game that came out ages ago when there's so many games I want to play now. Anyway, this just looks pretty amazing. It looks really epic. We don't know much about it. All they show off is that little teaser trailer, and then Mass Effect and Andromeda. So they give it a name, and then they move on to Need for Speed. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you will know that Need for Speed is a big part of my gaming history. I love Need for Speed games, and this just looks so good. This is showing so much promise. There are a couple of little things I'm a little worried about, but other than that, there's just so much cool stuff. So they show off this interesting thing. So what they've actually told us that they're going to have these real life actors in it, but then this car is actually fully CG, like fully an in-engine game, and they've somehow like placed it into the real world film, and then look at this, so much customization. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to make some cool cars with this. This just looks amazing. It's kind of really going back to the older Need for Speed games, closer to like Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Carbon. Need for Speed Most Wanted is my favorite game, Need for Speed game of all time. It is so good. a lot of people say that things like Underground and Underground 2, they kind of led the way towards Most Wanted, and I really liked those games, but Most Wanted was my favorite. And look at all of this customization. Looks like everything you can think of is going to be customizable. Oh man, I'm just nerding out right now. This is so exciting to see. And then as far as story-wise goes, they're going to be adding some sort of story, and it seems like they said they're going to have 5 real-world icons, like driving icons, that are going to be in the game. One of them definitely looked like Ken Block, just with his hat and his beard. Like, they just had these shadows of all these icons that you're going to have to try and impress during this game, and definitely one of them looked like Ken Block, and I'm pretty sure he'll be in it. And as you can see, the gameplay looks impressive. There is just one concern I have about this gameplay. The drifting that you can see here, it looks really visually stunning, but it does look like gameplay wise it might be a little hard to pull off quite a lot of the time, and just especially knowing what you're going through. See, because you're drifting and the camera comes really low, which makes it look really cool, but I mean it kind of looks harder to drive than normal. Now, I could be completely wrong and it's completely easy to drive. We won't know until we actually start playing it, but man, the game just looks super exciting. And there are cops in this game. Oh my goodness, I love cop chases in Need for Speed games. Especially, I was really hoping they would go back to like some of the Most Wanted stuff and have some destructible debris, because they are using the Frostbite engine, and this is the same engine that say like DICE is using for Star Wars Battlefront, and a whole lot of the games that they're using are using this Frostbite engine, which just gives so much destructibility. And I'm just like, I want, it's like in Need for Speed Most Wanted, in the I think it was 2005 it came out on the PlayStation 2. You had like these things that you could just destroy, and it would like they would all come landing on the cops. So you'd like go through a donut place, and the giant donut on the front of the shop would fall off and crash into some cop cars. I mean, I would really love it if they brought that back. They didn't show any of that off in this gameplay demo, but it might not even be in the game, so I'm just hoping. That's my little hope for Need for Speed, and it just looks, oh man, I just love it so much, and I can't wait to play it. And I believe it's releasing on November 3rd of this year, so we don't have to wait long. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And then we got Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Oh, I loved Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. I loved Plants vs Zombies. I didn't love Plants vs Zombies 2 as much, mainly because of all of the like paywall, mini microtransactions, DLC stuff. It was just like, oh my god, you kind of ruined this game, EA. And then they come out with Garden Warfare, and I was like, oh, this game is so good, and I loved playing through it. I didn't give you guys as much content as I wanted to. There was a whole lot of things going on with my recording software and all that sort of stuff at that time. But this is going to be back, and we're going to be playing this so much when it comes out. There's all these new characters, as you can see. I'm pretty sure they're keeping all the old characters. They also said there's all the new game modes that a lot of people have been wanting. So you know how they had the garden, was it called Garden Ops 1, where you're defending against waves of zombies. This time you're going to be you can be zombies defending against waves of plants, and some of these characters look insanely good. I love the look of it. Look at the goat. One of the flower things turned one of the zombies into a goat, and I was just like, oh my god, I want this now. It's coming out 2016, so we don't have to wait too long. And then EA Games have brought out all of their sports games, and they just talked about them for a while. Each of them are getting some interesting aspects to them. So I think like the basketball one is getting like a facial scanner, so you use your smartphone to scan your face into the game. And then FIFA is getting female characters, which is amazing to think that I didn't realize that they didn't have female characters until now. A lot of the games in E3 this year were, so many of them had female characters, and not only did they have female characters, there were a lot more female game designers on stage that I noticed, and I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. I didn't really notice that before, which is pretty cool. I like the idea of having all of these different options for anyone who wants to play as different characters. And then what they also did is, I think the Madden 16 is going to get, what was that going to get? That was getting a new fantasy football mode, which I'm not a big football fan, especially gridiron. I'm in New Zealand, so we play rugby. And so I think that basically they're going to get a whole lot of, be able to choose your own players and all that sort of stuff. So then they moved on to Mirror's Edge, and oh my goodness, this game looks amazing. This is one of those games that I didn't know existed until way after it was released. So it came out, I believe, in 2007 on Xbox and PlayStation, so Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and I didn't know about it until 2013 when I saw one of my friends playing it on his laptop, and I was just like, what is this amazing game that you're playing that I have no idea what it is? What is it? And he was like, it's Mirror's Edge. How do you not know about this? And I was like, oh, when I was watching him play. And they're remaking the whole thing, so it's kind of what I believe is it's kind of like a remake, but it's not a sequel and it's not a prequel, but it's not a remake. It's kind of like an extended remake, I don't know, but it looks amazingly good. It's like a free running action game where you are the character, and then they confirmed that there are going to be no guns in this game. Well, that guy just had a gun, but you will not have any guns in this game. So Faith is the character you're playing as, and you will not have a gun. They confirmed that. Apparently in the last game they might have placed some of them in there, but in this game you definitely won't be able to pick up any guns, and it just looks beautiful. I believe this is another game they're using Frostbite to render it in, and it just looks amazing, and I just want to play this game now. But it's coming out, I believe, next year, sometime in 2016, and they've renamed it Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So are you guys excited for this game? I certainly am. The next game they came out with, EA just had a great showing. They've now got Star Wars Battlefront multiplayer gameplay, and man, does it look good. Oh my goodness. It looks so much like Star Wars. It looks like you're playing in a Star Wars movie and controlling what's happening, and there's so much going on. I think they said this is a 40-player multiplayer battle. They said this is all captured from a PlayStation 4, so therefore it's not running on a crazy super good powerful PC. It is actually running on a console, so this is what it should look like when it's released. And just everything about this, it looks Star Warsy. The death animations are just like, they're not normal like Battlefield death animations. That thing just looks epic, that grenade thing. Everything just kind of looks like the 80s. The explosions look kind of realistic with all the sparks and stuff. They just look like what it looked like in Star Wars when they were making this movie, and the game just looks just like it. And then you got these amazing skyboxes with these crazy things happening in the sky. The jets and stuff that are flying past you, like the X-Wings and TIE fighters and stuff, are all being played by people. So everything you're seeing here is basically being controlled by someone in the game, and it's just oh my goodness, this game just looks so good. I'm kind of speechless. I just don't know what to say. This game is just, oh my goodness. As you saw then, everything can be played in first person or third person, so you can switch between the two quite easily, it looks like it. And then it looks like you pick up sort of weapons, so you all have these sort of starter weapons, but then it looks like somehow you earn them or you pick them up, and then like that rocket launcher, it's not like something you can just always have on you. You kind of use it once and then it's gone, from what I understand. And then look at this, you're controlling one of these massive things, I can't remember what they're called, but look, oh my goodness, you're just blowing things up, calling it an airstrike, and it's a very Star Wars airstrike with the lasers coming down, and the explosions look like Star Wars explosions. They've done such a great game, great job, DICE have, at creating the Star Wars experience. So this game is made from the developers that brought us Battlefield 4 and stuff like that. So it's DICE who just make these massive games, and they've just put so much effort into making the Star Wars game, and it just looks so good. Now they did say that certain things are not things like this are not going to be kill streaks. They're going to be things that they want everyone to be able to have a go at figuring out. So that's why they're making them non-kill streaks. So it sounds like it's going to kind of be like Battlefield, where you just like first in first serve to certain aspects of these characters. You'll be able to pick up the character and just be like, okay, I want to be this character now. But there will definitely be like a limit to how many are going to be on the field. So not everyone is going to be in a TIE fighter or anything like that. This is one of my favorite segments in the game. Just this TIE fighter fight battle. Like, as you can see, you're in third person. You can change to first person at any time. And this part, there's just all of these explosions. Oh man, I just can't believe it. And this is the part here that I wanted to say that was my favorite part. Not the part before, but this part here. You're flying through here. You got spacecraft flying past you. You're flying through this canyon. This is something that I've always wanted to do in a video game. Oh man, it just looked so good. You see it in movies and stuff, but I think it's the first time I've ever seen it in a video game, and I want to do that. And then over here, they do a good job of making you feel small when you're just a person and all these massive bits of machinery walking around. And look at this, that lands right next to this guy, and you could just imagine it being squashed by that. It just looks so good. And here's a cool feature here. So you got these force fields that you can deploy. It looks like it might be something that not everyone is going to have. It's going to be like a perk or something like that. And then you got someone force choking this poor guy, and it's going to be Darth Vader. That is so good. I know it's like choreographed and all that, but just imagine that happening in game. Oh man. And here we go, we got Luke Skywalker. Now these are the hero units, and like I said before, that they're not making these kill streaks. They want everyone to have the experience, at least the chance of playing like this. And that is Star Wars Battlefront, coming November 17th. And that is how EA ended their conference. They went out with a bang, and we're going to go on to the Ubisoft conference. Now, they literally just started off with this trailer, and it was completely unexpected and absolutely hilarious, completely fourth wall breaking, and just everything you would want from a game like this. This is going to be the next South Park game. Now the reason this was so unexpected was because of the fact that the guys who make South Park, they said that when they finished the other one, they weren't going to make another game because they said it was really hard and stuff. And then as soon as they showed this off, those two guys came out and they explained that it was right at the end of making the Stick of Truth that they realized that they knew how to make games, and they have all this work done, all the engine and everything all set up, and they were just like, why not, let's just make another one. And this just looks absolutely hilarious. I didn't play the Stick of Truth, but I know that so many people loved it. It was definitely a contender for Game of the Year for quite a few outfits in the gaming industry, and this just looks absolutely hilarious. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it, but if you guys are really into South Park and you guys are really if you really like the other game, then you'll most likely like this and really want to check it out if you didn't see it at E3. And then of course it is a South Park game, so it's going to have an absolutely ridiculous and hilarious title. It is going to be called South Park: The Fractured Butthole. What kind of name is that? Only South Park can get away with that, can't they? So another thing they announced was this game, which is Trackmania. This is coming to all platforms, so it's going to come to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and it looks absolutely amazing. This isn't the first time this game's been around. I remember seeing this on PC a couple of years ago, and I was just like, man, this game looks awesome. I want to play this. Too bad it was on PC, and I just have a Mac, so I can't play it on that, and it was just like, I want to play this game so bad, and now it's coming to the consoles, so I'll be able to check it out, and it just looks so good. Look at this. It's very fast paced. It's extreme sort of stunts work, extreme speed, and just like you can see here, look how fast this game looks. It's just incredibly fast paced, and it looks like they're going to bring a split screen to it, so you're not even just 2-player, 4-player split screen. I love 4-player split screen, especially playing with some of my friends. It's something that a lot of games just don't do anymore, and I kind of like it. I wish more games would be able to implement it. So that's coming in this year, actually. It's coming near the end of this year. Trackmania Turbo. We're coming on 27th of November. Another thing they showed off was this game, and this is a very interesting game. So this looks like it's going to be Ubisoft's sort of what's it called, SimCity sort of game, but it's like very futuristic. You build your world, you expand, you gain resources, and the big thing about this, you end up going to the moon. So you start on Earth, you build up your city, you build up your place, and then you end up going to the moon, and it looks super futuristic. It is only coming to PC, unfortunately, so I don't think I will be able to play this unless I end up investing into a gaming PC at some point. But just, oh man, man, this looks so good. I'm a big fan of city builder games. I've always loved trying them out. I remember playing SimCity 4 so much, and SimCity 3000, and SimCity 2000. And look at this, you build your spaceships, you send them off into space, and then you end up colonizing the moon, which just looks amazing. Look at this. Moon city building, how cool is this? And the game is called Anno, or ANNO, and well, ANNO 2205. So another thing they showed off was Rainbow Six Siege. Now this is totally different to the gameplay stuff they've showed before. This is going to be like a PvE sort of setup. So we're going to have a multiplayer, you know, I think 4 or 5 people. Yeah, it's 5 people versus a whole lot of AI characters. So it's very different to what they've shown off before. They've only shown off the multiplayer stuff so far. Now this game has been going through a bit of a bad rap at the moment because of the fact that it looked so good when they first revealed it, just like Watch Dogs did, and then they've showed more gameplay stuff and it just doesn't look quite as good as their first reveal. And so a few other games have gone through that same thing, and at the moment it looks pretty good. I still think the gameplay looks really good. Hopefully it's as destructible as it was in the first demonstration, and yeah, it just looks really good. So some of the other things they showed off while this gameplay goes on, they've got the new Assassin's Creed that's coming out. It's not something that interesting me, but I know that it sells a whole lot of copies. So if you liked it, and if you like Assassin's Creed and you want to check out that, I'll definitely link the trailer in the description. They also showed a new Tom Clancy game. So it's not The Division, it's like this new one, and it's kind of like you go hunting for drug dealers and stuff like that. It looks pretty interesting. It's still not really my kind of game. It doesn't really suit me. But the next game that I'm going to show you is The Division. Now this is a game that I'm excited for. It looks so good. It is a post-apocalyptic kind of world. It's set in New York, and there is some sort of biological weapon that has been gone out and it's killed a whole lot of people, and now the city is basically a wasteland full of criminals and all that sort of stuff. And it sounds like we are called The Division, like the group of people that we are, and that we are going into these zones and just trying to keep calm, and well, not really keep calm, just trying to take out a whole lot of criminals that are now running the streets. So we're some sort of special forces unit, and this is the multiplayer zone. So what happens is, instead of going out to a menu and going into a multiplayer game mode, what they've done is they've embedded the multiplayer part inside the game. So you just have to walk over to the center of Manhattan and go into this zone called the Dark Zone, and this is a multiplayer area where you can face other people, or you can actually team up with them, and it can be completely unpredictable about what they're going to do. The Dark Zone does also have AI characters like these guys here. These guys are a new first time you're seeing these type of guys in this gameplay trailer. I'm not sure what they're called, and they are an enemy type that you can now attack. Now these guys are actually other players. So we're in a group of 3, we've got these 2 random guys showed up, and now we don't know whether or not they are going to attack us or they are going to help us. And the whole reason for them maybe attacking us is they could take our loot, our Dark Zone loot. So Dark Zone loot apparently is going to be very high quality loot that you're going to get out from this area, but you can also have it stolen from you by other players. But if whatever you bring into the Dark Zone, you will not lose. You only lose the stuff that you find within the Dark Zone while you're in it for that certain period of time, which sounds really cool. This game just looks amazing. Visually it looks stunning. The UI looks really cool. I love the fact that it's kind of connected with your player. Everything is kind of just sitting on top of the players. You don't have this like massive amount of UI sitting around your screen. I really like the minimalistic kind of design, and it just looks so good. And then we're gonna grab some dark loot right here. and then what you got to do is you got to extract it. Now this is pretty interesting. So what happens is you have to now go to a place to extract your dark loot. Now you don't extract yourself. To get out of the dark zone you actually have to walk out, but you can extract your loot so you don't end up losing it while you're in here. Here is another enemy type. These are I think they're called the cleaners. They were shown off in the first ever trailer, and it just, wow man, this game just looks epic. So these guys decide not to engage those guys because they are really high powered enemies. The game is an RPG, so you're going to have, you know, a leveling system. I don't know quite how it's going to work. You're going to have all this kind of stuff, and it just looks so good. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. So what they're going to show us now is the extraction system, and they're also going to show you what it looks like to turn on some other players. So basically start attacking other players. So when you do attack someone else, you do become a rogue agent. So that means that other players are going to be able to find you a lot easier, and when they kill you they're going to actually get a bonus for killing you because you killed another division agent. So you become like a rogue agent, and then you have to like run and hide, and that will turn off after a certain timer, so you will become a normal agent after so long. So that can also be part of the gameplay, is like running around trying not to die while you've been marked as a rogue agent. So I don't have much else to talk about for this game. It just looks so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this gameplay trailer finish, and you guys can enjoy it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed E3. It's been an interesting week. There have been so many things that weren't in the press conferences. So hopefully you guys are catching up with some of the smaller games that didn't get into the press conferences. So feel free to let me know what your favorite moments of E3 were. And E3 is now over. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And now it's time for me to say, see ya guys and girls.